This is more Doug DeMuro, and today I am going to tell you my opinion of the Tesla Cybertruck. I have been doing YouTube videos now for a little over 6 years, and I have never had as many people tweeting me, emailing me, Facebooking me, asking for my opinion of a car as I have with the Cybertruck. It is certainly sending shockwaves. So today, I'm going to give you my opinion. Now, for those of you who don't know about the Cybertruck, which I find kind of hard to believe at this point, this is the new Tesla pickup truck. It's been talked about for years. Tesla finally revealed it last week. This is what it looks like, which is rather interesting, and it is intended to go on sale in about 2 years at the end of 2021. Now, I'm going to do something a little unorthodox here, and I'm going to start by talking about the Cybertruck specs, its capacities, its range, its pricing, instead of the styling. Virtually everyone covering this truck is talking about the styling, and I will get to that in a minute. But this truck is about more than just how it looks. And I think this is especially important because a lot of the coverage about Tesla is from tech journalists, and tech journalists are generally clueless about pickup trucks. But I think it's important to have the conversation about the specs because for people who actually want or need a pickup truck, the pickup truckness is important. And so I'm going to start there, and I'll go to styling next. So here's the deal. There are 3 versions of the Cybertruck. The base model starts at $40,000, and it has 250 miles of range, 0 to 60 in 6.5 seconds, and it'll tow 7,500 pounds. The mid-level Cybertruck starts at $50,000. It'll tow 10,000 pounds, 300-mile range, 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds. Then there's the top trim. That one is $70,000. It does 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds, and it has a 500-mile range, and it'll tow 14,000 pounds, which is really impressive. And payload capacity for all of the trucks is 3,500 pounds. Now, everyone is focusing on those final numbers, 500-mile range and 14,000-pound towing capacity. And they should be, because for a light-duty, full-size pickup truck, that's amazing. Right now, the best Tesla range is a version of the Model S that will do 370 miles. So doing 500 miles in a pickup truck is fantastic. And towing 14,000 pounds is also a big deal. The closest trucks right now are the Chevy Silverado and the Ford F-150, which can tow 12,000 and 12,700 pounds respectively. So the Cybertruck is an improvement there too, and that's big. But what nobody seems to be reporting about is how tremendously expensive the Cybertruck is for what it offers. Right now, the average transaction price for a light-duty, full-size pickup truck is $48,000, give or take. If you go look at the Chevy Silverado, the most expensive version is called the High Country. That starts at $58,000. The Cybertruck top trim starts at $70,000, which is huge money, even in the truck world where things have been getting more expensive. Now, its numbers are great. 14,000 pound towing capacity, 0 to 60 in 2.9, but $70,000 base price. It's really expensive for a truck. So let's go consider a more affordable Cybertruck, which is the mid-range model. And like I said, that's 300 miles of range, and it's a 10,000 pound towing capacity for $50,000, which is about the average sale price for a new truck. Well, that version tows 10,000 pounds. But listen to this, a base model Chevy Silverado tows 9,800 pounds, basically the same, and it starts at only $30,000, 20 grand less than that mid-level Cybertruck. Now, obviously, the base model Silverado has practically nothing. No luxuries, cloth seats, it's pretty crappy, single cab. It is a very basic truck, but there's a lot of room to add options and features between $30,000 Silverado base price and $50,000 mid-level Cybertruck base price, and the towing capacity is the same. So with that in mind, with the huge increase in price of the Cybertruck over regular pickup trucks, I actually think the Cybertruck is closer in competition to heavy-duty trucks instead of light-duty trucks. I'm going to stop here for a second to explain what those are. In the full-size truck world, you have 2 versions. There's light-duty trucks. They're the most popular ones. Ford F-150, Chevy Silverado, Ram 1500. They're the ones most people get. But you can also step up and get heavy-duty or super-duty trucks which are intended for heavier use. These are becoming far more popular, but they were built for like job sites and towing. They're more capable than regular trucks. This is the Ford F-250 and 350, the Chevy Silverado 2500 and 3500, and so on. And I think the Cybertruck is more competitive with the heavy-duty trucks, mainly due to its pricing. Chevy Silverado base pricing for the light-duty truck ranges from $30,000 to $58,000, whereas the Cybertruck base pricing goes from $40,000 to $70,000. Compare that to the heavy-duty version of the Silverado. The base pricing there ranges from $37,000 to $73,000, which almost exactly mirrors the Cybertruck. So to me, the Cybertruck is going to compete more with the heavy-duty trucks because pickup truck buyers tend to buy the best truck they can afford, and Cybertruck pricing puts it squarely in competition with the heavy-duty trucks. And in that comparison, the Cybertruck doesn't fare so well. The $37,000 base model Silverado heavy duty will tow 14,500 pounds, whereas the $40,000 base model Cybertruck will only tow 7,500 pounds, half basically. Go up to the top range Silverado 2500, which starts right around $70,000. It can pull 18,500 pounds, which again easily beats the Cybertruck's $70,000 version and its 14,000 pound towing capacity. And that's not even mentioning the Silverado 3500, which Chevy says can pull up to 35,000 pounds, which is ridiculous, but that's a different topic. So, unlike the Model 3, where you're getting more but you're paying less for it, with the Cybertruck, if you compare it against a light-duty full-size truck, you're getting more, but you're paying more for it. And if you compare it to a heavy-duty full-size truck, you're paying the same money and you're getting less. And to me, that's bad news. This is the first Tesla where the value proposition doesn't really line up. You look at the Model 3 on paper and you almost can't afford not to buy it. It's as quick as a BMW M5, but it costs the same as a mid-level BMW 3 Series. It's a crazy bargain. And you can make similar comparisons for the Model S and to a lesser extent the Model X. But the Cybertruck, the value proposition isn't there, and on paper it seems like a miss. Now you're probably thinking, well, there's more besides towing. And that's true. I like to use towing as sort of a catch-all measure of a truck's toughness, but there is more to it than that. But Tesla hasn't really given us all that much to go on. They drove a quad into the Cybertruck when it was up on stage. Okay, great, but a lot of trucks can do that. In fact, a lot of people specifically buy a truck because they can get their quad into it. The Cybertruck has a roll-top bed cover. Again, okay, great, but a lot of trucks have that, not game-changing. It's bulletproof, supposedly. Okay, fine, but no rational person cares about that. The windows can withstand crazy force, apparently. Again, okay, it's not really a benefit. I don't know who cares about that, and we're not even really sure that it works, obviously. So then really you're left with just a few benefits. One of them is 0 to 60, which I admit is awesome. Getting a truck 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds is insane. It is so cool, and that is an amazing feat. But I think Tesla and its supporters will discover that 0 to 60 sells cars a lot more than it sells trucks. People in the performance luxury sedan world really paying attention to that stuff. Truck buyers, not as big of a deal. But it is a cool feature and it will sell trucks. Then you have autopilot, which I think is Tesla's biggest advantage, but all automakers are improving their self-driving systems. Now, Tesla says this truck will come out in the end of 2021. If there's one thing I know about Tesla, it will be late. And I think by then, the other systems will catch up. A lot of other automakers are already catching up to Tesla tech in terms of the infotainment system, and self-driving autopilot is getting there. And then, of course, another benefit of the truck is there's the EV factor. But one wonders how effective this will really be if you're using the truck to do truck stuff. For example, towing a trailer, the range will be severely affected. Some people do tow with their Model X and they report vastly diminished range. I mean, think about it. Stopping every 300, 350 miles to supercharge in your Model S, that's no problem really. You have hours in between stops, not a huge deal. But if you get like the mid-level Cybertruck, you're stopping already every 300 miles, then you're pulling a trailer, vastly diminishes your range. And if you have to stop every couple hours, it will make road trips very inconvenient. And road trips is where people are pulling trailers and using pickup trucks. So regardless, some of this stuff, like the ability to load a quad and the bulletproof thing, those aren't really benefits. And some of this other stuff is nice to have, of course, but I'm not seeing a really compelling, crazy knockout feature that will make this truck the thing everybody wants, especially when you consider its higher price point to similar trucks. And so with that in mind, let's talk about styling. Now, first off, I want to say that styling is very subjective and everyone is allowed an opinion. But in my opinion, this is the ugliest wheeled vehicle I have ever seen in my life. And I include in that Zambonis and those ride-on floor cleaner machines like this. Now, I want to say that I absolutely hate when people call new car designs ugly, because people pretty much always say that all new car designs are ugly because new car designs are new and people hate change and they don't like things they're not familiar with. And so people always say, that car is ugly right after it comes out, and inevitably it grows on people after they see them on the street for a few years. But in this case, I don't think the Cybertruck will grow on me or on pretty much anyone. Throughout the entire Cybertruck presentation, I assumed it was a great joke. They would reveal that and then they would drive the real Cybertruck out onto the stage. And I'm not just talking about the glass breaking. I mean, from the moment it showed up, how it looked, I truly thought it was a joke. I can't believe that it looks like this. Now, to be clear, the production model will not look exactly like what was on the stage, no matter what. I mean, for one thing, the truck that they showed doesn't have mirrors, which are a government requirement, so at the very least that will change. And I'm sure other tweaks will have to be made to get it ready for production. But I think Tesla would be better off to just scrap the whole thing and start over. The memes on the internet are out of control. People are making so much fun of this. For the very first time, I've seen the Cybertruck divide the Tesla community. Usually the Tesla online forums are a united front against anyone who would ever say anything negative about Tesla. And it's kind of a scary, like, follow the leader mentality. But now I see Tesla people breaking ranks. There are polls on Tesla forums and message boards where people are saying pretty much 50-50 that they don't like how the truck looks, which is a huge break in ranks from how Tesla people normally are. This is causing even the die-hard Tesla fans to kind of question the direction and the vehicle, and that isn't good, because you need those people. Even Tesla's stock price took a hit. They revealed the truck Thursday night, and on Friday, their stock price dropped by 6%, a little over. Now, I know the market is notoriously fickle and it could completely recover today, but I think this like real-time feedback was a sign that there is not much confidence in this design. Not just the broken windows from the presentation, which is a non-issue, but the actual design itself. And I think it's an indication of where investors see the success of this truck. And I really fear that this is a case where people inside Tesla were afraid to stand up to the big boss and say, you know, maybe we shouldn't make it look like this. They were nervous about sharing their opinions for fear of retaliation. And so now here we are. Now, Tesla has already proudly announced that they got 146,000 deposits for the Cybertruck on the very first day. But to me, that's a flop. Tesla got 200,000 deposits for the Model 3 on the first day, and at that time they were asking $1,000 for the deposits. The Cybertruck deposit is only $100. And I know a lot of people who clearly paid the $100 just to show off to their friends on Facebook and Instagram, ooh, I ordered a Cybertruck. We'll see how many of those $100 deposits actually turn into sales. Parting with $1,000 for a deposit on a car is a much bigger mental difference than parting with $100. That's not really that much of a commitment, especially when the thing is 2 years away and it's refundable. So anyway, that's my take. I think the styling is absolutely awful, but for me, this truck is an early flop for more than just that. The value proposition against other trucks isn't there. I'm one of the few car journalists who actually really likes Tesla. I love the Model 3. I just did a video on the Model 3 performance. and I rated it higher than everything else in its class. I love the technology, I love the autopilot, it's fantastic, and I'm so sick of hearing car people say, I don't like Tesla because I don't like electric cars, or I don't like Tesla because I don't like Elon Musk. Shut up, they're great cars. They're fantastic. That stuff is so annoying. So I think Tesla makes great cars. The tech is amazing and they've enjoyed fantastic success until now. And I've learned that we should never say Tesla can't or Tesla won't, because time and time again we've been proven wrong. Oh, Tesla won't make a minivan with gull-wing doors. Well, guess what? They did. Tesla won't have a car that beats out the M5 0 to 60, but it's the cost of a 3 Series. Well, guess what? They did. Tesla has proven me wrong and everyone wrong many, many times. And I've learned you don't even say it. But I think right now it seems like this is Tesla's first big miss. And I think there really needs to be some changes to Cybertruck before production. Either change the styling to make it better looking and then people forget that it isn't the best value, or change the pricing range value proposition to make it more capable and just blow the competitors out of the water, and then people will buy it no matter how it looks. But you can't really have a vehicle that is both uglier than the competition and more expensive than the competition and not offering much more. That is not going to translate into a realistic vehicle that will be a success. And so those are my thoughts on the Cybertruck. I'm interested to see how this develops.